So we are nearing the end of the year. I cannot believe we're in November going into December. And this is going to be a 3-part video series. I'm going to teach you all, or explain to you all, what Daniel and I do to end out our year and close out our year. So one video is going to be all about budgets, and we're going to do that one today. The next video is going to be all about strategic planning for the future, for goal setting, for looking ahead. And then the final video is going to be about looking backwards. What happened this year? What went right? What went wrong? What statistics did we follow and track? So let's get into budgets this video. And for budgets, the word budget for a lot of people can be negative. It can stir up a lot of emotions. And so I would love to challenge you to think of budgets with the word freedom. So once you have a budget, there's a lot of freedom then in going ahead in your year, knowing where you can spend money, where you can borrow and steal money, and then what are the results and how can you further your business by actually having a budget. So let's dive in. What's all about budgets? Why should we track them? What should we do with them? And so really, in order to start off with a budget, you need good numbers to actually look backwards and build one to go forward. So the first thing Daniel and I do is we make sure all of our numbers, if anything is lost or misplaced for 2024, or if you're in 2025 watching this video, we just make sure all of our numbers are triple checked, double checked for our customers. Their numbers are double checked and triple checked, so they're ready to look at their numbers to look ahead at a budget. And so we get our numbers ready, we go into QuickBooks, for those of you that are using QuickBooks, and we pull up our P&L, and we look line by line of what did we spend, and do we want to spend this next year? And it is simple as that, as we go line by line looking at what we spent, where did the money go, is that what we want to do with next year's money? And so right parallel, I'm a simple girl, I just use Excel. I know there are fancy apps out there and software that you can use, but I literally do this in Excel, where we talk about what was spent in advertising, why it was spent, and do we want to do that next year? And then we go to the next section. What was spent in the office section? Do we want to spend that next year? And we get a new budget number in there. You might be thinking, well, Amber, I don't know how much money I'm going to make. How do you even do that? If you have trends in your business, or if you have years of data in your business, this is actually really helpful to look at years of data, because you can see your growth over the years, or you can see your decline, and maybe you need to reduce your budget for 2025 if your industry is going into a slump. So we look in the past to know what we can actually predict for the future for income, and we take a safe measurement, and then we take a really extraordinary, excitable measurement so that we can push ourselves to grow. But if we have a backup plan, we know we have like a threshold that's lower in case something unforeseen happens. You always have to plan for the unforeseen, but then strive for the bigger number for the future. And so finally, at the end of all the line by line discussion, we have a working budget that I can then put into QuickBooks for us. QuickBooks Plus and Advanced has that feature. If you don't, and if you have a Simple Start or Essentials, I'd encourage you, if this is something you really want to dive into for the new year, consider upgrading. I think it's 100% worth it, and it brings so much value to being able to do comparables with reports. And that's what we do then. So we get all the budget put into QuickBooks. You can upload that with an Excel spreadsheet, the one you've been working on, or you can manually put in box by box. So I like to upload the spreadsheet we've been working on during our planning session. And then we so then going forward in 2025 or in 2026, you can actually pull up the different weeks and months of the budget to see if you're on or off. And that is a huge staple to our business. And we can then see where we aren't spending that maybe we want to spend something else. So that's the freedom piece when I explained way in the beginning of the video about what does a budget bring? It brings freedom. So if we're now in June of 2025 and we're thinking, wow, we've spent half our marketing and we just can't take any more influx. We can't take any more customers. Guess what? That money left in marketing can be switched to a different bucket on on the budget that maybe, you know what, we want to have some more education in the back half of 2025, and we're going to do that consulting, that consultant that was going to coach us, or do that business trip to actually network with those people because we didn't spend the money in marketing. We don't want to spend the money in marketing, and now we want to shift that excess money over to education or consultant coaching us in our business. So that is the freedom that it brings, and I hope that you get a glimpse of why to do a budget, when to do a budget, you do it at the end of the year, and how to even start. If you would love help, I'd love to help you get started on your budget. Stay tuned for 2 more videos. Like I said, we're going to talk about strategic planning and goal setting, and then we're going to talk about looking back. Thank you.